hot, which is fantastic. I already have my wings ready to go. Okay, I've had this in some water, and they're actually 100% ready to go, but I have to crisp them up in the oil, and I'm going to make you a delicious, sweet, sour, and spicy sauce that's going to be fantastic on those wings. It's going to blow your mind. Okay, now in goes the milk. Boom, just like that. That'll help out with that process, and I also need to do 1 egg in there, okay? So I'm gonna add 1 egg, but first I gotta mix that up, add some volume to it. I think I got a little bit of a shell there. Let's get rid of that shell if you can. There we go. Wash your hands. Beautiful. Okay, just gonna whisk this egg up, volumize it. Why am I volumizing this egg right now? The reason why I'm volumizing this egg is to make the bread nice and light too. You add air into your mix, you're going to add air into your bread. Okay, excuse me. Perfect. That's just going to go right up on in that mix. I haven't let that yeast bloom for very long. I'm not too worried about that. This yeast is a very high active, high-end yeast. It'll do its job once it's getting going, okay? Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to add right off the bat a ½ cup white flour right in that mix. We're going to add another ½ cup for 1 cup in total. We're going to give this a little mix. Just a nice, gentle mix. Okay, so got some onions over here, sauteing. I want these nice and brown, good and brown, just like this. We're going to get those going on while that slowly mixes in that little flour I have for that bread over there. I've got my oven set already at 375 degrees. This loaf of bread will need about 20 minutes, so that's why it's very important I get this bread in, because everything else is on the way as well, and I want it all up at once, okay? This is the way it is in a real restaurant. It's not slow go, it's not easy going, it's not how do you do, and this, that, and the other thing, it's get it done. But you gotta get it done good, high end, quality, and fast, fast, fast. In goes half, and another half. And this is when you can just add that flour in. You can just have right at her, okay? I haven't added any extra flavorings into this yet. I will do so more when the dough likes to come together. I'm just going to mix that up again. Let that mix. Watch our onions. Those onions are looking real nice. Sure do like them. Real close to getting done here. Let's have a look at this bread. Okay, that's looking like it's real nice there. It's scraping the walls very nicely. That's what we want. We want it to remove off those walls. Okay, you can probably just add a little bit more here. Just a bit, not too much here. Let it just rub and scrape and scratch those walls clean. That's when you know you got yourself a good bread. I'm happy with that. Okay, that's gonna just hop right up like that. It's all glued right to that. That's okay. Bring the spade out just like this. Bring it out like that. Add some flour right along on your board here. We're limited in room, limited in space. I'd have more at the restaurant, but you know, that's just not gonna happen, right? So here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Bring that over just like that, and we're done. And what we're gonna do normally, what you want to do is you want to let this rest on its own, but seeing as we're trying to make something in a hurry here, you don't need it to rest too long. I've got that really good active yeast that's gonna do a real good job here, okay? All you're gonna do is you're gonna knead and fill and knead and fill and knead and fill, okay? Oh, it's nice and warm. It feels good. We're adding just enough flour to make it nice, silky smooth, okay? That's the goal here. Just enough flour to make it silky smooth. We're gonna bring that up and we're gonna roll it over here on the other side. We're gonna let that sit. Now over here, as you can see, I have a nice warm cloth. The reason why I have this cloth on this oven is because now it's warm and now we can nurture the bread. Hug it up to keep it nice and cozy and warm, okay? Okay, these onions are looking fantastic. What I'm gonna do is grab a little plate. Move these onions right over here on this plate. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Just like that. Also this evening, what I'm going to be making are some delicious meatballs. I don't believe I have that up on the board, but the meatballs will be absolutely fantastic. Let's go chop up some bacon. Boom. So we're going to chop up a little bit of bacon now. We're just going to go right down the gut, right like that. Boom, boom, boom. And we're just going to do a little bit of this, okay? Here comes the bacon, bring it on over. In that same onion pan, okay? That's the goal. You want it right in that onion pan the same way. You want to render down that. Now you want this on a real medium heat. I'm going to wash my hands. Alright, let's render that off. Let's make a real quick artichoke dip. I'm going to show you something super easy but super delicious, okay? All we're going to do is we're going to grab some artichokes. These artichokes I've had in some nice rice wine vinegar and some extra herbs and spices, okay? That I like to use a lot of. And I'm going to run through a few of them, but not all of them this evening because that might bore the heck out of you. Artichokes going right up in this mix in the blender just like that with a little vinegar. Okay, in with that, I'm going to add a little white yogurt. If you want to use mayonnaise, you can use mayonnaise to keep it a little bit lighter, a little bit cleaner. I like to use yogurt. Okay, so that's that, and that's that, and that's great, okay? So we got a little love there. Now, these onions are going right up on in this mix, just like that. Those nice sauteed onions are going in there. Beautiful. And now you and me are going to have a good time here because we're going to get to choose what sort of spices that we want, what flavors we want to introduce into this artichoke dip. Don't forget about your bacon. It'll be very, very, very unhappy if you do, okay? Lower that heat now. Bring that right down. Just let it render out nice and slowly on a nice low heat now. We have it shocked. It's now shocked, so it's spurting out all that grease. But now we want that grease to kind of crisp up the meat. That's how it ends up nice and crispy. The wings are looking absolutely fantastic. I'll do those last. Let's go look at some spices here and see what we can do. Alright, so I'm thinking for my artichoke dip, I'm going to want a little bit of chili powder. So let's just grab a little chili powder. Let's go on over to the blender and put probably a teaspoon inside of that. Here comes the teaspoon of chili powder. That's going right on in, just like that. Now I want it to be a little bit rich, a little luxurious. I'm going to add a little mustard powder, okay? That's going right on in. Just like that, boom. Love that. Okay, now I'm thinking maybe a little flair. How about some cumin, okay? Let's add a little cumin in there. That's what we'll do. Just make it happen. Don't hold back. Okay, so I don't want to flog it, I don't want to overdo it, I don't want to confuse it, but I do need to enhance those spices with a little salt and a little bit of cracked black pepper is going in. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, to sharpen it up, I'm going to add a little bit of lemon. Hold on one sec. Bit of lemon in there, okay, so that's going to give it a little give, and all you're going to do is you're going to throw that lid on, you're going to lock it out, close it up, think I got this right. It was on wrong. Okay, we're cool. On a number 1, just give it a go. Now, the object here, make sure you don't fully blend those artichokes. You just need to do a little bit, okay? Okay, that's pretty much good right there. So now you're going to scoop this into a bowl. I'm going to go with this bowl here. Sliced up on here, flip this board over, because what did you do? You used it for the bacon, right? Wash off your knife. Just give it a little rinse, it's not a big deal, it is a cured product. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to move this. Also unplug the blender, just in case, you never know, lock it out, right? Lock your stuff out. Perfect. What you're going to do is grab your handy dandy rubber spatula, go like this, look over, make sure you're okay on the range, make sure your bread's good, you're good, okay. And all you're going to do is this artichoke dip's going to go right in this bowl, so we're not through adding something in here. So I don't want to just throw it into an oven-proof bowl yet. This will be in the oven for a little bit to warm it up real nicely, but I'm not through with the rest of the stuff that needs to go in there. Okay, so already what we have is we've got those nice sauteed onions in there, we've got the cumin in there, we've got the chili powder in there, we got a little mustard, right? A little salt, perfect, 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 a little yogurt to level it all off. But I'm going to add some brie. Some nice, smooth, creamy brie, but I'm going to add it in chunks, okay? So we're just going to chunk it up, just like this. Chunk it right up. The reason why I want to chunk it up is because when it's in the oven, I want these chunks just to heat up slowly, just to richen this up just a little bit into little wee areas, so then your nice fresh bread and this beautiful artichoke dip, once this is out of the oven, it's going to have every now and then hints of this beautiful brie just shining through right at you. Just keep adding it in there. Now you can add a little mix. Use the same rubber spatula that you had already and just give it a little bit of mix. A little bit of mix, not too much. I just want to spread around this brie. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Spread it around, spread it around. It's very nice. I'd like to thank the group Good Old Soul for having me, and thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I truly do. You know what? This is good, but I'm going to add a little bit of hot sauce. I'll be right back. You can add a hot sauce of your choice. I'm going to choose some Ammo Box. It's local. It's really yummy. That's going to go in 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be nice. Nice crispy bacon. Shut that down. That's good. This is looking like good. Now I gotta find an oven-proof bowl for this. Let's find an oven-proof bowl. This is a beautiful oven-proof bowl. Just gonna scoop this all right up in here, just like that. Now it's very important that you just spread this out. It should be about 1 inch off to make sure that that cheese indeed melts. Just like that, just like that. That looks fantastic. Okay, so that is good to go, and my sink is filling up with dirty dishes. We'll wash those later. You don't really have to concern yourself. Okay, I've got my oven set at 375. I need to get that bread in there, right? Let's go do that. Look at this. Look how beautiful it is. Look how light it is. It's just beautiful, smooth, and spongy. I love that. But it's going to need just one more knead before it goes in. Let's get a little closer. So just one knead. It's lifted itself up, and that's great, but it needs one little knead. Just like that. But what we're going to do to this bread, which is going to be pretty cool, is we're just going to add a little bit of fresh homemade tomato sauce. Just a bit, not too much. Just a bit on there. That's beautiful. Okay. Just clean off the side of your ramekin there. Make it look somewhat presentable, right? Okay, so then we're gonna do this. Just gonna add a little bit, not too much, not too much. Spread that all around. That's beautiful, 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 beautiful. I love that. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, now, after that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna huck our artichoke dip in the oven right now, just to get it out of the way. Good idea? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna chop up some garlic real quick, okay? So we're gonna chop that garlic up just like that. Remove the skin. Usually the skin removes right away, but sometimes it likes to cling and hang on. Don't worry about that. Let's just mince this up. We want a nice smooth mince, so we're gonna actually kind of do a grounding of it. We're just gonna grind it. We're gonna puree that slowly. Bring it back. We're gonna puree it slowly. Bring it back. Puree that slowly. You guys got that? Bring it back. There you go. Just like that. Nice pureed garlic. You don't need the stuff in the jars at the grocery store. You can do it yourself. Here we go. We're gonna throw that right up on in that mix, just like that. We're gonna reach over. I'm gonna add a little bit of fresh garlic on that bread because I think that'll be very nice. Beautiful. Okay, all we're gonna do, you guys, is we're gonna roll this up. We're gonna roll it up. We're gonna grab that flour, just like that on the board, and push that flour right in as we roll. Got that flour, we're gonna just shove it underneath as we roll. The reason why is it'll lift it up and it won't stick to the counter. Pretty simple. Boom, 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 boom. Now, this is when you can manipulate and form it into something that you want, okay? I think that that looks pretty nice. It's all really nice and warm. Sure love that. I'm gonna add a little knife blade to this. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna spin that around the other way too, okay? We're just gonna scar it up a little bit, make it look nice. Let's get that in the oven. Boom, just like that. We're not gonna add any olive oil on it yet, or any egg wash or anything like that yet. We're gonna let that rise up in the oven on its own for just a few minutes. Boom, so now we're crack-a-lacking, right? I'm gonna raise that oven up a little bit. It was at 375, but I got the artichoke in there, I got the bread in there. It's gonna need a little higher heat. Let that preheat for a little bit. This is your nice cooling rack. You're gonna need that later, just not right now. Okay, let's have a breath. Let's just all have a breath. I'm gonna wash my board. I'm gonna wash my knife. I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm gonna get that all going on. Then I really feel like frying up some wings. Does that sound pretty decent to you guys? Sounds pretty good to me, okay? Let's do a little wash up. You don't have to watch me wash. What you can do is just look at ingredients. You can hang out in the kitchen if you want. You can look around a little bit. You don't need to watch me. You can have a look here, have a look there. We'll just explore the kitchen a little bit, you guys. I don't know what sort of wings you guys like, but let me tell you, for me it's all about how crispy they are, it's all about how spicy they are, and I'm going to show you how to do all that stuff. But first we got to do a little bit of cleaning. Alright, let's bring it back here. Okay, so bring it back here. Okay. Let's clean that up. There we go. Boom, just like that. Get that going on. Now we have semi-nice clean kitchen here. Okay, I'm gonna make these wings a little bit of crispy, okay? They're already blanched, I know they're ready to go, I know they're cooked through, so I'm not concerned about leaving them lying around other areas of the kitchen, other food, that kind of stuff, so on and so forth, because I know they're not raw. If they were raw, they'd be in the fridge right now. I'd haul them out here, I'd blanch them off, and all that jazz. I skipped the step. The reason why I skipped the step is because it's non-important, and I'm sure you know how to do that, but I am gonna show you how to make some really delicious wings, okay? Got your wings here, yeah? All you're gonna do is you're gonna flour them up. Flour them up. Very lightly. Okay? Flour them up really lightly. Let's give these a shake over this bowl. Like that, give them a shake. Remember, these wings are totally cooked. This flour here will absorb the water that's been resting on the wings from the blanching process, and it's just going to give these wings just a nice, light, little extra crispy that the skin wouldn't necessarily give you. Let that flour sit and absorb for a little bit. Shall we get those meatballs going? Yeah? Delicious, organic, free-range beef. You don't need that. You can just have your regular, everyday ground meat from the grocery store. You do you, okay? That's not a problem at all, but I'm going to show you how I make my meatballs extra moist and creamy. And what we're going to do first off the bat, I'm going to grab a fork. I'm going to grab another fork, and I'm just going to lightly break this up, okay? That's the first thing we do with meat. We just lightly break it up. If you use your hands and you squish it all about and that kind of stuff right off the bat, that meat likes to harden right up on you. We're just gonna break it away. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, now, that's pretty cool, pretty simple. Heavy cream. We're talking heavy cream. 33% heavy cream that's going right on in. Don't worry about it. You know, don't alarm yourself, okay? A little bit of butter. Does that sound good? I'm just going to chop up a little bit of butter, not too much, just a little bit. Bang, bang, bang. I didn't say these were the healthiest meatballs, but I will say this, they're probably the most delicious meatballs. But I'm sure you guys have some fantastic meatball recipes too. That butter's just going to go right up on there. Just give it a nice light chop, no big deal. It's going to want to hang out with each other, let it hang out with each other, but now that you've chopped it, you can break it and sort of manipulate it a bit, yeah? Okay, just bring that around like that. You got that heavy cream. A little bit of butter in there. We're just gonna kind of run that all over the place there. Now again, let's play a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit of mustard. Dijon mustard in there. You do you. There's no right or wrong here, you do you, okay? A little bit of salt. Here goes the pepper, just like that. That's going right up on in that mix. A little S&P, a little salt and pepper. Now, this is where you can have it interesting. You can go for a little bit of light Mediterranean feel. You can add some nice oregano in there, right? Some avar. You can do all kinds of stuff in there. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep it pretty simple. A little S&P, a little bit of cream, a little bit of butter. Let's go look at one spice in particular that I love in meatballs. Now we're gonna go for, yes, the coriander seed. But first, I've had this on for a little bit so it's nice and warm. To get the most out of the coriander seed, warm up those seeds a bit. And how long you ask, all you do is you warm them up. As soon as you can smell them, you're good. I can smell them, I'm good. You don't need a mortar, you can smash them any other way. Just gonna grind those up. Boom, 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 just like that. Some fresh coriander going right up on in that mix. Beautiful. So we've tried to keep these pretty simple. Not too many flavors in here. Like I said, there's no right or wrong here. You guys can do you, but I find that coriander works fantastic. Let's add some oil in that skillet that we used to warm the coriander seed, using that little bit of flavor to flavor the oil, and then the meatballs, because we're building and growing flavors. I'm not using gloves. You guys can use gloves. My hands are an instrument. I keep them very clean. I know where they've been. But you're gonna roll these gentle. You can just roll them gentle. Just gonna throw that right up in that mix. Just like that. What will melt? The butter will melt. Of course it will. Let it go. It's also flavoring the meat as it melts. Now, of course, if I had a big group heading over, I'd have so many more of everything. But this is just a small group here this evening, so, you know. You want to try to keep the meatballs as uniform as possible. I was a little bit messy on that, but you know. Wash your hands immediately after. Beautiful, lovely, amazing. Oh, FYI group, I should mention this while I have you on air and listening, and somewhat, you know, I will be hosting online workshops now once a month. It's going to be very great. It's going to be in a closed group. It's going to be one-on-one. I'll be able to answer all the questions, and I'll have a recipe sent into your, sent via email, so in your inbox, and I'll also offer a few little extras. But it's going to be one-on-one experience, learn as we go, recipe included, slow go, I can answer all your questions. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And the first one I've got going on is the end of this month on the 27th, where I'm going to show you how to make a bagel. That's right, a bagel. Everyone shops at the grocery store for the bagels because they think they're so hard to make. I'm going to show you how to make the best ever, okay? New York born, Brooklyn born, delicious, chewy bagel, okay? Trust me. I don't know if it's going to be New York born. I don't know if it's going to be Brooklyn born. But it's going to be really good, okay? And I'm going to show you how to do it. So let that sear off. We're going to let that sear off. I'll be right back. Now, how do you know when to flip a meatball? When it's easy to flip. If it's hard and it's gluey on there, let it go for a little bit longer, okay? Let's just chop up some garlic. Throw that in there. These smell delicious. Already. Roll them over, roll them over, roll them over. Okay. Grab some homemade tomato sauce, throw it in, just like that. Let those just kind of hang out for a little while, get to know one another, shake hands, no rush. We need them to shake hands, get to know one another, let that sauce just totally cook that raw hamburger meat until it's ready to go. You want to make sure with this process that you heat this sauce up to a boiling point to make sure you get the job done. Lid it. Make sure you lid it. You don't want it splattering around, okay? Let's go have a look at this bread. It's almost there. What we're going to do now is I'm going to grab a little bit of butter. Just gonna spread this over the top just like that. Let it get right in between those cracks. Just give it a little. You don't need to give it a lot, okay? You just want to make sure it gets its own way, its own highway. Let it just travel on its own. Let's make it rustic, delicious, and good. Let it go where it wants to crave. This is another few minutes. Artichoke dip's looking good. What we're going to do is we're going to rotate now because I need a good broil on that. So we're going to throw it on broil. High, start the broiling process. Those will be delicious when they're lightly brown. Let's go fry up some wings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I won't keep counting. I know that's very annoying. That's probably good for now. And just let those go, let those have a good time in their bath. Let's go make a very simple, delicious, sweet, spicy sauce for those wings. All we're gonna do, add a little maple syrup. That's right, maple syrup going in. Gonna add a little honey. So we got that maple syrup, we got that honey, and we're gonna add some hot sauce of your choice. This one I just have sriracha, because I find sriracha to be slightly sweet and has a little bit more flavor than most hot sauces. I like flavor, I'm not shy of flavor. Okay, mix that up. Boom, boom, boom. Did that just blow your mind? No, it shouldn't. Add a little salt in there, boom, 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 and we're gonna add a little splash of cumin. And mix that up. Bring this bowl to your working environment. So we have these meatballs. I know these are going off with all that steam I see there, and I'm afraid to open it because sauce might be splattering everywhere, but we're gonna go for it anyway. Okay, so those are braising away nicely. That's what you want. You want them braising away at that nice slightly on the boil side of things. The reason why I like to do it this way rather than have the meat 100% fully cooked and then in the sauce, the main reason why I like to do it this way is because all the flavor from the sauce then enters into that raw meat and cooks it. You get maximum flavor that way. Have a look around. Let's go mince up a little red pepper. No big deal, no big whoop. Get rid of your membrane. That's that white strip you see on the inside of that. Get rid of that. Just julienne this. Julienne just strips. And then all we're going to do after this is we're going to mince it. You're going to watch that high broil on that artichoke dip. Beautiful, just like that. And I'm just going to use that minced for the wings, just over the wings, just to kind of juice them up a little bit, make them look nice. We're going to slice up an avocado. I'll be right back. Avocado, we all know how to do that. We just go ring around the rosy right with your knife. How do you do? And we're gonna just get rid of that seed right off the bat. You know what? Avocado is ripe when that seed just comes right out. Boom, there's one side. Grab your other one. There's another side. You know what would have been very nice, you guys, is that avocado in with that artichoke dip. That would have been fantastic, but sometimes avocado just on its own is equally as delicious. Get rid of the stem, just do a little bit of how do you do here on that avocado, nothing too serious, don't take it too seriously. There you go, spread it out like that, give it a spin, just make it look nice. Let's move this over to the platter. Move that other one over here on the platter too. What the heck, eh? Maybe we'll just do a little bit of this. Go add a little bit there, maybe a little bit here. I don't know. It's up to you guys. Whatever you want to do. I like green and red. Usually looks the best. It is an happy platter, you know. It's an happy platter. It's a football game. You want to keep it kind of cruisy, not too flu-flu, you know. Oh man, that smells good. Wings are looking delicious. This is where I'm going to add the bacon in with that wing sauce, just like that. Add the bacon in there. Boom, boom, boom. Looks delicious. Just let that nurture a bit. Have a look at your meatballs. Just rotate them once. Give them a little rotation. Beautiful. Beautiful. Simmering to perfection. That looks delicious. Alright, those meatballs are good. Shut those down. Those wings are good. Let's put them in our bowl. The reason why I like to have them right in the bowl right away is that hot skin, that grease, just a little bit of grease makes that sauce just adheres so nicely to the side of the wing. Not to mention the adhesion of the flour, of course. But these are good and crispy and nice. Just give them a light little how do you do, and boom, what do you got? Deliciousness. Mix them up, mix them up, mix them up, make some noise, make some noise, make some noise, make some noise. Make sure you spread the bacon all over there. This is when you can add a little more salt to them, just a little bit. Wings should be a little salty. They should make you want to have another drink. Okay, let's move these wings over to the platter. Let's just line them all up right here.